Well, Brexit did not happen immediately after the Brexit referendum in 2016. There were exhausting negotiations between the UK and the EU, first about the exit on the UK and then about the future relationship between the EU and the UK. After the official Brexit on January 31st in 2020, where the UK officially left the EU and with it the Parliament, the single market and the customs union, there was a transitional period until December 31st in 2020 to implement the new relationship. And still there are some longer transitional period for some areas, but that on that date was the main one. And people are talking a lot about the level of preparation for Brexit on different sides, or indeed the lack of preparations. So in a few of my videos, I will give you an overview about the extent of preparations by different countries involved, and of course the UK and the EU as a whole. And today I will tell you a bit about the preparations in Germany. Prior to the end of the Brexit transition period on December 31st in 2020, Germany, like other EU member states, made extensive preparations to minimize any potential disruptions resulting from the United Kingdom's departure from the European Union. These preparations were aimed at ensuring the smoothest possible transition for citizens, businesses, and government agencies. Germany updated its legal framework to adapt to the new relationship with the UK, and this involved passing laws and regulations to address various aspects, including trade, customs, immigration, and residency. Germany prepared for the reinstatement of customs and border checks between itself and the UK. This involved hiring additional customs officers and investing in infrastructure at ports and airports to handle the increased workload and potential delays. The German government engaged in the negotiations with the UK to work on this new trade agreement that would govern their economic relationship post-Brexit as an EU member state. And the goal was to minimize trade barriers and ensure continued economic operations. So Germany was fully involved there. The German government provided guidance and support to businesses, particularly those engaged in trade with the UK, to help them understand and comply with new customs procedures and regulations. Information campaigns were launched to raise awareness and offer assistance. Authorities in Germany, including the Bundesbank and the BaFin, that's the Federal Financial Supervisory Authority, work closely with financial institutions to ensure the stability of the financial sector and to address any potential risks resulting from Brexit. Germany established processes and guidelines for UK citizens living in Germany and vice versa. This included information on residency permits, work permits, and access to social benefits, ensuring a smooth transition for affected individuals. Germany actively collaborated with other EU member states and the European Commission to coordinate preparations and establish common frameworks and procedures for various aspects of Brexit, such as citizens' rights and the exchange of goods and services. The German government launched extensive information campaigns to raise awareness among businesses, citizens, and relevant stakeholders about the potential implications of Brexit. Websites, hotlines, and dedicated support centers were established to provide up-to-date information and address queries. Different sectors of the German economy required specific preparations due to their unique interactions with the UK, and I have some examples for you here. Given the strong trade ties between Germany and the UK in the automotive sector, German car manufacturers and suppliers took measures to adapt to potential trade barriers and changes in regulations. Frankfurt, as a major financial hub in Europe, expected an influx of financial institutions relocating from London. German authorities worked to facilitate the transition by streamlining regulatory processes and offering support to firms considering a move. The German government developed plans to address potential disruptions in the agricultural and fisheries sectors due to changes in trade rules and access to EU markets. Germany implemented measures to ensure smooth travel between the UK and Germany as possible, and this included information campaigns to educate travelers about changes to passport requirements, customs procedures, and health and safety regulations post-Brexit. Germany emphasized the importance of maintaining close ties with the UK despite its departure from the EU. The German government aimed to establish new frameworks for collaboration in areas such as security, defense, research, and cultural exchange. German authorities also developed contingency plans to address potential worst-case scenarios at the time, such as a no-deal Brexit. These plans included measures to mitigate disruptions in areas such as trade, transportation, and the rights of citizens. Following the end of the transition period, Germany, like other EU member states, continued to closely monitor the impact of Brexit on various sectors and areas of cooperation. This allowed for adjustments and refinements of the initial preparations as new challenges and opportunities arose. And so Germany prepared very well for different cases that could have happened on Brexit, because until the end of the transition period, or very close to the end of the transition period, nobody knew what the future relationship would be. It didn't look like a lot that we would have the TCA we have today at that time. And so they prepared very well. And even in that time, they started making legislation on the naturalization of UK citizens here in Germany, allowing them for a certain time to acquire a double passport. And there was a lot going on like this. Germany is my home country, and that's why I started with Germany. But Germany was also a country very well prepared for Brexit for a lot of different cases. In the UK, it was a bit different, but I come to that in a later video. But first, I want to go through some other countries first to see how they prepared for Brexit. It's some time ago that this happened, but people are still forgetting about the timelines and everything. That's why I several times already broke up the history of Brexit and the timeline of what happened. And I have my Brexit game on Outside Views Games for that. But I think it's important to remind people of what really was happening, because there's also some legend building going on, what was happening during the negotiation years, during the transition period, and so on. And if you're interested in other Brexit videos or more UK politics, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.